41 civilizations surrendered to the lights. The 42nd built a wall behind them. High Marshal Kor stood on the command bridge of the flagship Hegemon's Wrath, his heavy clawed hand resting on the primary tactical panel. Outside the armored viewport, 30 amber boundary beacons flickered in the dark void of Sector 4. They marked the edge of human space. The lead destroyer Vareth 6 crossed the line first, its dark metal hull cutting between two blinking beacons. A quiet thud echoed through the deck plates. The destroyer did not explode. No fire blazed across the hull, and no human missiles streaked from the asteroid field ahead. The warship simply stopped moving. Thick blue arcs of electrical energy danced over its rear hull plates. Its primary propulsion drives went black in a fraction of a second, leaving the massive vessel drifting forward on momentum alone. 47 human warships held the void past the border line, hidden deep inside the dark rocks of the Obsidian Trench. Not a single ship fired a missile. If you respect clean tactical defense over blind force, hit the like button and follow the channel for more space combat records. 14 minutes earlier, Subcommander Vale stood behind the High Marshal's command station. Vale kept his palms pressed flat against the cold composite console to hide the tremor in his fingers. On his screen, the historic threat files for Sector 4 remained open. 60 years ago, an entire Imperial fleet entered this exact grid and never returned to home space. Vale cleared his throat. High Marshal, the human sensor array on Outpost Apex has picked up our approach. Sensor profiles indicate 47 vessels scattered inside the asteroid belt. The operational record recommends caution before crossing the border beacons. Kor did not turn around. He adjusted his heavy brass neck collar and let out a low growl. 47 vessels are nothing against 230 heavy warships. They hide because they are weak. We break their border lights and take the sector. 4 miles away, inside the reinforced command bunker of Outpost Apex, Admiral Ren Vass rotated an antique brass chronometer coin between her fingers. The coin made a sharp metallic click every time it flipped over her knuckles. She watched the green energy signatures of the Hegemony Armada creep past the outer marker line. "Lead ship is disabled, Admiral," Captain Finn said from the lower tactical pit. "Kinetic Mine Field Alpha 4 triggered on schedule. Drives are dead. Hull integrity remains at 100%. "Keep the grid live," Vass said. Her voice was flat and steady. "Open a direct frequency to the flagship." On the bridge of the Hegemon's Wrath, the main tactical display flickered from dark space to a live visual transmission. Admiral Vass appeared on the screen. She sat in a high-backed command chair, her short silver hair stark against the dark steel wall behind her. She did not look angry. She looked like an auditor reviewing an incorrect ledger. "High Marshal Kor," Vass said. Her voice carried clearly through the bridge speakers. "You have crossed the sovereign boundary of the Terran Compact. You have 60 seconds to turn your fleet around and clear this corridor before active engagement begins." Kor stepped toward the screen, his 4 amber eyes narrowing. "You threaten an armada with 47 light ships, human. You have no weapons aimed at my flagship. Your minds disabled 1 destroyer." "We do not fight to destroy your fleet, High Marshal," Vass replied. She set her brass coin flat on the armrest of her chair. "We fight to manage your corridor. 50 seconds. Kor cut the channel with a snap of his claw. He turned to his navigation officers. "All divisions full speed forward. Drive through the minefield. Clear those rocks." The Hegemony Armada surged ahead. Engines blazed red across 200 warships as they pushed past the disabled Vareth 6. The heavy cruisers moved into the narrow channel between 2 massive clusters of iron asteroids. Then the rocks moved. 46 dark shapes detached themselves from the shadow of the Obsidian Trench. They were not hiding behind the asteroids. They were anchored inside the hollowed-out hulls of past invader wrecks, wrapped in thermal-absorbing blankets. As the blankets dropped away, 46 Terran warships brought their drive cores online at once. "Sensors reporting new contacts," Vale shouted, his hands slamming flat onto the console. "Behind us, they were anchored inside the old wreck fields. They are closing the exit corridor." The human fleet did not launch torpedoes at the hegemony troop transports. Instead, small strike fighters swept past the flanks of the alien formation. They fired short, pulsed bursts of focused energy directly into the external communication pods mounted on the bellies of the hegemony command ships. On the flagship, half of the tactical displays went gray. "Bridge to heavy cruiser Vengeance, respond," Vale called into his headset. Only static answered. "High Marshal, our command link to the rear division is severed. The lag on relay orders has jumped to 6 seconds. Order the forward cruisers to form a defensive wall," Kor barked. He slammed a claw onto the main desk. "Turn the main batteries toward the asteroid belt." The lead heavy cruiser attempted to turn, but 3 human frigates darted underneath its massive ventral armor. The frigates did not aim for the primary bridge or the crew quarters. They fired high-density magnetic clamps straight into the cruiser's primary engine collars. The heavy clamps locked onto the housing structures and detonated short-circuit charges. The engine collars buckled inward with a sharp metallic crunch. The heavy cruiser lost all steerage. Its massive hull swung sideways, completely blocking the central flight lane. Behind it, 2 more battlecruisers were forced to cut their main drives to avoid a collision. Vale brought up the tactical map. Red markers showed 60 alien ships trapped in a tight cluster, unable to turn without hitting their own paralyzed sister vessels. "We are not being destroyed, High Marshal," Vale said quiet. "We are being managed. They are building a physical wall out of our own ships." Kor stared at the display. A cold sweat broke across his scale-armored brow. "Nonsense. Fire the heavy railguns. Blow those disabled hulls out of the path." "If we fire on our own ships, the fleet structure collapses entirely," Vale said. "And the human ships are not standing still." Outside the viewport, human destroyers moved in perfect unison. They circled the immobilized hegemony armada like shepherd dogs around a trapped herd. Whenever an alien warship attempted to power up its primary weapons, a precise EMP strike cut the power feed to its targeting computers. Not a single hull was breached. Not a single crew compartment lost pressure. But 200 heavy warships sat trapped in a corridor 3 miles wide, unable to move forward, retreat, or aim their guns. The main communications screen flickered back to life. Admiral Vass sat back in her chair. The antique brass coin was back between her fingers, flipping in a slow, steady rhythm. "Time is up, High Marshal," Vass said. Kor took a step back from the screen. His 4 eyes tracked the movement of the human fleet on the secondary monitors. 47 ships held complete control over 230 paralyzed war vessels. "What are your terms?" Kor asked. His voice had lost its deep rumble. "You will lock your drive controls into manual standby," Vass said clearly. "You will broadcast an open-frequency admission of illegal entry to your home sector command. And then your recovery tugs will tow your disabled hulls back across the line, one by one, under our escort." Kor pressed his clawed hands together. The brass collar around his neck suddenly felt very heavy. "If I refuse?" "Then we will disable the remaining engine collars," Vass said. "And your armada will sit in this trench until your life support runs out of power. You have 30 seconds to decide." Kor turned to Vale. Vale did not look up from his console. He simply kept his hands flat against the panel, waiting. "Broadcast the transmission," Kor said. 2 minutes later, an open-frequency signal went out across the sector. High Marshal Kor's voice sounded over Imperial military bands, confirming the full withdrawal of the 7th Armada after failing to clear the human defense grid. Out on the edge of the system, secondary alien scout fleets picked up the audio file and immediately turned back toward deep space. In the dark void of Sector 4, heavy alien tugboats attached tow cables to 58 motionless warships. The giant hulls were dragged slowly back toward the boundary line. Human frigates escorted them from 50 kilometers away, their weapon systems powered down but their sensors locked on every movement. Inside Outpost Apex, Admiral Vass opened a digital file on her desktop console. She began typing the routine post-battle administrative report, logging fuel usage, mine inventory, and boundary line adjustments. Outside, 30 new amber boundary beacons drifted into position, their low lights blinking rhythmically against the black expanse of space. They didn't come to conquer us. They came to deliver our new border inventory. The dark void remained silent. 30 new amber lights flickered online, guarding the silence.